Aloha. Oh, I wish it were like this right now. I wish I could just sleep on the back of my aumakua and not see all these dreadful things going on around me. Unfortunately, or fortunately, let's try to look at the positive side. You had a new moon at 18 Aries right on Uranus. It's a wake-up call. Cannot go to sleep. No. Last week they cut down one of the most famous trees in Kona. Oh, it's a beautiful big tree. They said there was termites. I watched them take the thing down. It took days. Put 500 minor birds out of the home. There was no termites in that tree. If it was under the tree, it was ground termites. They could have easily poisoned it. But no, they took down one of the most gorgeous things here. And now they're trashing and bulldozing and taking out a beautiful little one-story house. How come? Well, trash the tree. Probably insurance. It's surrounded now by vacation rentals. Some guy that owned a little one-story sweet little cabin probably got seduced by money and developers. They're going to take out that sweet little house and they're going to put in a 3-story monster with the view of the ocean and rent that sucker out. Oh, I hate it. Sometimes I don't know if I can restrain myself. Here's a big one. You know, this is the same people, the pig people we call them around here, that have unleashed all this horror on us. It's really the World War II generation, still empowered. Capitalism, oh yeah, it's our right to go make money. Development is good. So there was 3 days of horrid chainsaws, and now there's a full day of horrid machines. Reminds me of World War II. I studied World War II, you know. I want to find out how people could do that, but, you know, like Jesus said, as an evil generation, the Big Hope generation, yeah, booze, tobacco, pollute, capitalism. Anyway, what happened in London, when they started, World War II was largely a bombing war. You know, bombing from the air, that's what it was all about. And Hitler and the British Prime Minister, they got in a big argument, started escalating the bombing, and pretty soon there's 1,000 bombers were sent over Berlin. British bombed at night, Americans bombed at day. They're raining bombs. So Hitler retaliates and he's raining bombs, and they call it the Blitz. And he went after London, and they're just blowing up London right and left. So here was what came out of it. Keep calm, carry on. If you're having a blitz in your life, keep calm, carry on. It's just a month of this new waking up to see what the destruction's all about. And there's plenty of it. Yes, Pluto's on the loose. Eek! Pluto! Mars is on the loose. Eek! Mars. Well, tough week. Sometimes it's very difficult to know, you know, you'd like that knowing astrology would solve it all. Well, at least I know what it is, but maybe I can exercise my attitude, my free will a little bit better because of it. I'm trying. Takes time. They cut the tree and they poisoned the stream and they made money and walked off. So the noise you hear in the background is the big machines taking out a beautiful house so somebody can make money. Same like a chainsaw. Don't get me into leaf blowers. You had a new moon on the planet Uranus, and for a month we're going to be extra sensitive. The good side, you'll wake up. You'll become a rebel. You'll see that this is ridiculous. It's one world. We breathe the same air, you know, and look what we're doing. Global warming. Holy cow, you let a few rednecks run us around, and you know what it's going to be like in 20 years? Oh, that next Bactune that starts in 2032, that's the worst one according to the Mayans. From 2032 to 2052, we are going to suffer greatly. Well, enough of that. I'm still preaching. I want to do the last 1/3 of April for you in the sky mirror. and maybe give you a little heads up. Pluto and Mars just stopped a couple of days ago for you, and they're strong. When they stop in the sky, they stand up on the world stage and raise hell. Yes. Mercury's going to get his chance. The kids will speak out April 28th, and not about Mercury goes backwards then, so, he stands up for a little bit. But who the bad guys are, here you go. There's Mars. Ask yourself what you're protecting. Are you really going to destroy all of that for what? Oh, to make money, to put up a tourist attraction. Oh, here's the other guy, Pluto. I put him like this, but he's actually the circle of spirit over the crescent of flesh, over the cross of matter. Here's your policeman, believes in the law, or his religion, or ethics, or some non-physical thing. Puts that above people and flesh. Puts that above money, thank heavens. But he's a pirate. And look out. He's going to confiscate your stuff. Yeah. The whole thing. I'm just aghast. Mars rages. Pluto rages. These are not exactly the guys you want to meet in a dark alley. Nope. At the same time, Neptune's squaring Mars. And that means flammable liquids. And that means, people that are got all religious about their anger. Road rage. You said right. No, I said left. Here's Jupiter squaring Saturn. These guys, politicians aren't worth a damn. Pluto squaring Uranus. You awakened. You got waked up a little bit, didn't you? Well, if you haven't, you still got time. But look out. What's happening. There's a man with a gun over there. Let's look at it day by day, okay? Here we go. We're going to run the moon around the edge. If you're on a thirsty show, there's a full moon at 2 Scorpio Thursday night. It's a little wobbly emotionally, yeah, it is. Trines Neptune roughly, but nevertheless. The moon's in Scorpio Thursday night. Dig deep, my friends. Investigate. Use the power of Pluto here. He's Sherlock Holmes. He has a good side to him. You go investigate. Neat things happen. Now look at that. This is an interesting thing. I watch omens like this. I drew out this thing, and then the next day when I went to look what happened. Somehow there's like a razor cut across this thing. I went ahead anyway and tear it more. What's it pointing at? It's pointing at Mars. I've been accenting Pluto in the last few shows, but Mars is stopping too, and Mars is squaring Neptune. He's going to go after the big gasoline storage depot. I'm kind of an expert in Mars and flammable liquids. I was president of the short-lived foam committee in Honolulu. Oh, enough of that. What's going on for you? Well, you're going into this crazy, violent, angry 10 days, and starts kind of innocuous. The moon's in Scorpio Friday on the 22nd. In the middle of the day, there's a nice trine to Neptune. Everything's okay. Let's sing the song. Go church. It's all fine. Friday night, real late, was actually Saturday morning, about 1 or 2 in the morning. There's a sextile to Pluto, and you feel powerful. The preacher said it was going to be okay. All right, well, come Saturday, the moon's going to go by Mars. And there's going to be some road rage and some anger and some heat and some fires. And some of those fires could be fed by hydrocarbons, gases and liquids, things that burn, oil and gas. And, so there's going to be a lot of fire set. Sorry to tell you, yes. And you're going to see a lot of this starting Sunday the 24th. The moon goes into Sagittarius. That's where a lot of the action is. Oops, let's see, that isn't Mars, there's Saturday. What is that? It's the end of Scorpio. Well, that's Mercury. Trouble's communicating, I guess. Here's the real anger at 9 Sag. It's Sunday night. So the religious side of this is going to come up. Sunday is church day, oh yeah. And when you get to Sunday night, You get to Sunday in general, as soon as the moon goes into Sag, you're going to get hit every 6 hours with weird, confused anger, or hots, or sharps. This is a dangerous time, my friends. Care is needed. Sunday, maybe this is the New York thing and it's just a couple days late. Sometimes it takes all these nutcases a little while to work themselves up to it, and here they're working. This is sudden road rage here. Oh, look out. You know, on Monday morning, the moon goes by Saturn, and it squares Jupiter, and everybody feels restrictive and judgmental, and they're caught. What can I do? I don't know what to do. Somebody expanded, and they blocked all the security. And, tough. Nothing breaks until you get a little break here on Monday night. Here's the moon trining Uranus. And Venus is there too with Uranus. And so there's a little comfort and a little brotherhood here late Monday night. But, you're probably not going to be out of the trauma zone till the moon leaves Sagittarius the afternoon of Tuesday the 26th. And then you get your head a little bit. As you go through Wednesday, the moon's in Capricorn, starts with a nice sextile to the sun. I got a plan in Wednesday morning, not too bad. But then here's Pluto hanging out. Uh-oh, it's Wednesday night late, early Thursday morning, and your next trauma is here. Here comes out the plague of wasps. Here's the pirates. Here's the bomber. Here's the terrorist, yeah? I mean, pirates would dress up all scary like that, just like bikers, you know, to scare you. Cops are doing it now all over. Yes. So it's a costume, but when you see it, look out. Everything with stripes, black and orange stripes, the universe warns you, could sting. So there's a lot of stinging going on Wednesday night and Thursday morning. A lot of people are going to say, hey, I'm a free spirit. You treat everybody the same here. Look out. Here's the guy with the gun. Here's the... Yeah. So we got two real hot spots here, huh? And now that you know, you tend to stay home. Don't do that. Question it. It starts to get a little better when the moon goes into Aquarius Thursday night late, 8, 9 o'clock. And then you start to feel like, maybe I can fix some of this stuff. Well, that's Friday. Moon's in Aquarius, makes a sextile to Mars. Maybe these young guys could do something constructive around here and fix something, huh? Well, you got to use the general. Here, early Saturday morning, 2 a.m. in the morning, sextile to Saturn. The general thinks, I got a plan. They put all these people to work. Things settle down. There's repairs to do. Saturday morning, here's a nice sextile to Uranus. There's brotherhood, and this is a new moon. You could feel new awakenings here Saturday morning after the traumas that you've had back here on in the early part of this 10-day forecast. So hopefully you're done, but you got another one coming up here, and you're not out of the woods quite yet. 20 days plus or minus on Pluto and also on Mars. So if you had 20 days to this, you get the 6th, 7th of next month, which is May, before you're totally, some of the road rage calms down. Yeah, Sunday morning the moon goes into Pisces. It's nice for religion and church and stuff like that. It's going to go by Neptune Sunday night. Ordinarily I'd say play Bach and Beethoven and read Jesus and look at the pretty colors and stuff, but wow, here's Mars squaring it, and he's angry. You play your music too loud, he's going to come over there and break it. Mars breaks things and hurts things, and there's going to be more of that. There could be more fires set, more, what do they call them? Those guys that set fires, firebugs? Anyway, arsonists. And, yeah, it's no fun. Sunday nights is a lot of this is happening with the Mars and the Neptune. Call it your Sunday night fire and road rage. And then Wednesday night, here comes the guys with the guns, and it's the terrorist stuff. That happens every Wednesday. So, keep calm, carry on, That's the way. Ooh, what are those guys doing? I can't imagine why they're so angry. It's my territory. No, it's your territory. No, it's my territory. Does that remind you of somebody? Build a wall. Get a gun. Who's that remind you of? Hey, all the noise stopped. This guy stopped wrecking the house. Maybe I should go down there and see if there's an old iron bathtub. I haven't had a business card for probably, 15 years here. Yeah. And I did this one purposely without phone numbers. You can get me at rollinfrost@yahoo.com. I find it really pleasurable. Doesn't interrupt me with Uranian stuff. And you can get the TV show and instructions about chart work and stuff. Get the last 5 or 6 shows at skymirrorastrology.com/TV. 2 important things. And on the computer, you can get a hold of me. And I'll do some work for you personally. Yes. In fact, I tell you what, it's so important that you know your rising sign. If you email me your birth date, your birth time, and your birth city, and your first name, email it to rollinfrost@yahoo.com. Next time I check my email, I'll run it through the computer, calculate your rising sign, and email it back to you. And you will know your rising sign and the degree of your rising sign. It's really worth doing. Don't trust your mother. It's your first breath. It's the timing, really. So if you took 2 minutes to breathe, add 2 minutes to your birth time. Get it from your birth certificate. Find out your rising sign. I mean, that's where you start with astrology. God, the bulldozer and backhoe are back. I don't know what's worse, those guys or the chainsaws. Keep calm, Frost. Keep calm. Carry on. Okay. Starting to get preachy. The earth does not belong to us. We belong to the earth. Tell it to these capitalist pigs. Oh, excuse me. I think I'm a socialist. Maybe more. What do I got here? I got the astrocartography of the full moon, and I thought, I haven't done Mars justice. He's stopping. And, it's not just Pluto making volcanoes and epidemics and such, as important as that was. It's also Mars. And Mars brings heat and fires. So I decided to check this lunation, April 21st, which is just follows Mars station just a little bit and see where he might be acting up. What I find? Well, here's Mars. He's on the ascendant. That means you're feeling hot and you're angry and you're feeling the heat. And this line runs up through the Los Angeles area, Santa Barbara and stuff. Now it intersects over here. Here's another piece of the puzzle. Here is the south node. Oh, I need help. And Chiron, the helper. And they're on the bottom of the chart. Now, and this line runs right up there and intersects about the Santa Barbara area. And so here's where fires, here's where fires break out, burn houses and stuff. And it's gonna be awful hot, for the last part of April. For some reason, I don't know why. Maybe this is where the riot breaks out. I don't know. Keep calm, carry on. Here's Pluto on the rising sign. He didn't want you to keep calm. He wants you to full panic, going right up through New York. And there's the line. That's your panic line, okay? That's what that is. And yeah, Pluto's on the ascendant. Whew. Artemis is another name for Diana, the moon, and she protects those that love green haunts and loneliness. So that bulldozer's wrecking that house right next to the vacant lot where our Advocat feeding station has been, and our little black female kitten that we just trapped and had fixed was so traumatized that I haven't seen her for a month. Usually she comes out and meows when I drop my food at dusk. She finally came out a couple days ago and started saying hello, peeking around the corner, all scared. And look what's happening to her now. It's horrid for a little cat to have those things right next to them. So, I invoke the power of Diana, Artemis, protect that sweet little animal. That's what the moon is for. Protecting those that love green haunts and loneliness. So, I'm frustrated. I can't do anything about it. Okay, here's something I can start doing something about. This is all about leaf blowers. I'm serious. Here I came to Kona after working for 30 years in the safety and health business. And what do I see? These poor young men running around these vacation rentals and condos with leaf blowers. And these are a disaster, and I want to explain to you why they are. I sent this stuff and some more things about all the laws that West Coast cities have done to outlaw these leaf blowers, and there's lots of reasons why. They don't help. Well, anyway, here's my letter. And, you know, I sent this to after the good people at West Hawaii News published my letter on cats and Advocat. I sent this to them because there was another letter that said, oh, leaf blowers aren't so bad, just tolerate them for an hour or so. But they didn't publish this letter. And I'm not sure that they want to publish stuff that tries to fix things. Anyway, here it is, the letter. Hard to believe Dennis Lawson's letter of 3/24 telling complainers, quote unquote, to put up with the blowers for an hour or so. The best alternative is to use a hose to wash these parking surfaces. He's talking about leaf blowing all the big parking lots. These machines have been banned in most cities where citizens stand up for their health. Those most injured by noise and toxic dusts are the young folks using them. OSHA doesn't regulate little companies with less than 10 employees. Whoever sets these young men to do this horrible, hazardous work are the real culprits here. Yes. Mr. Lawson is concerned about money and trades the health and safety of those employees for what he thinks is a profit. It's pretty sad. The noise level of these blowers is way over OSHA noise limits. Using the machines injures the hearing by chipping away at high-frequency receptors first. The high notes slowly fade away like turning down the treble on your music slowly, hardly noticeable day by day. If OSHA had not made the 10-employee exception, these employees would get annual audiograms and the high-frequency loss would be evident and the cause is fixed. But you don't see hearing protection earmuffs on these employees. The greatest evil that blowers do is blow dust up to be breathed into the employees' lungs. It's not just dust, but asbestos and rubber from cars and pesticides from killing weeds or insects. Just about any small particulates our modern culture sheds. The worst are the smallest, under 1 micron, like cigarette smokes. Oh, scared the cat, that bulldozer. The worst are the smallest, under 1 micron, like cigarette smoke. These penetrate deep into the lungs and cause cancer years later. Have you ever seen a blower operator with a mask on? These really small particles you can't see travel quite a distance, hundreds of feet, and impact folks that don't realize they're being polluted. You can't see them, can't smell them. Little babies that breathe these unseen particles in that first year of life will have asthma the rest of their lives. Yes, The cause of asthma is breathing road dust, yard dust, really small particles into sensitive young lungs. Carrying your precious baby? Don't walk downwind from these machines, or on the downwind side of the street when cars go by, kicking up the same type of small particle pollutants. Work wet. Hose down those Walmart and Lowe's parking lots, Mr. Lawson. You are spreading carcinogens and permanently injuring the hearing and the lungs of all around this dumb machine, especially babies. Leaf blowers. I give you 3-1 they're not going to publish this letter. Well, I'm in a pissed off mood, and I am pissed off. I just saw a 25-year-old kid get 10 years in an accident. Here's the thing I found in New York. A judge, here's a cop. He fired a stray bullet. It missed what he was shooting at, but it killed this other guy. Yes. And they found him, and he said he didn't, acting recklessly, but he didn't intend to kill a Kauai girlie aged 28. And so the judge, he didn't spend one day in jail, this cop. A few days of probation or something. That was it. The family was outraged. He did not intend to kill the man. Well, that young man in Honolulu did not intend to have an accident that killed his sweetheart. Here's the arrest record. I went through this thing, and I'm kind of blown away because it's big. And I looked around, and you know what most of this was? Used to be pot. Now they're saying it a little different. They say, under the influence of an intoxicant. You know what that is? They're doing something about pot. If they smell pot on your breath or in the car, they threaten you, and they tell you if you don't plead guilty to this, you know, we're going to take you to jail and shit. And the cops are out. It's like confiscation. They're in business again. And all these people here that got hooked on this, they're all paying $500, $1,000 fine. Yes. Keep calm. Carry on. Geez, what if Trump really gets elected? What'll happen to this country if it all goes the way of Texas? I'm afraid to root for him.